So because it's inconsequential, the outward rents my understanding, and he puts his trust in the message on that. That's inconsequential. Vis-a-vis the rest of the rental, and therefore the rental fee is less on one side. So if you want to ask on this right, if you done what is this careful in this done from a non-native action. If ultimately again I will say right says
What up, Mr. Aquarius?
on the boundaries.
What's good, girl?
If there's food readily available along the journey, then ultimately you get a watch and
Right, well, I got the best napping spot in the world. That's right.
You're able to get the more leg of the journey.
That's right.
So far, a lot of our music on this bunch of that's part of the go through the trouble. Renter, that's not the expectation. Therefore, the renter is committed to take all the food ultimately, and the driver himself is the amount of food that he needs to get from one leg of the journey to the second journey. The father of Rabbi, the son of Rabbi. Right, the father of Rabbi, the son of so Ika, Father Shafet, meaning she was pouring on 65. So ultimately, was a wise. So again, this is more. So this someone wanted to the yeah, come up with Rabbi Shine, you can go Rabbi smokes in. So normally again, also some okay, I mean not equal to if you shot. So careful. Well, the fellows, you start behind the bad, mashing stacking there. He got it, the roof, he's a lot. Why is he but he got so what he do is he would put him think his mind, his balance into the outcomes of his skin. Okay. So you might have a seven will come up with him, but also my other will not. Enjoy late goof shapes getting so ultimately again, based on the way you're reading it now, so you take the one across the river, give it to them, and ultimately again you would keep the barrels as part of the again, that was it starting to the wine stream transported by right trans and you would get to keep the barrels. Also I'm gonna rabbi continuing from the Baptist practice of the I'm not that. What's the problem? Now the pastors with the problem is remember once that wine is poured into the wineskins platform, it becomes whatever I mean they're bothered by this because isn't ultimately again because he wants to continue existence ultimately against the message which about says it's not a problem when when the is dealing with it, ultimately again it's still mutter. I must do lots of big humo. So on this to oh so even though he's pouring one estimate, things across the rib. So ultimately he doesn't want the Weinstein. Weinstein is going to be in trouble. So he wants to continue these existence of the Weinstein. The Masni Baghdadi. He made a condition, right? The condition ultimately again. The condition ultimately again was that Allah breaks its own. He has no responsibility. The Maisu beside people, or they brought it back up in times as the oyster that he was pouring out, he'd have a backup. Oh, come on, I don't know, that's our piece. 1 second, don't even come now because that is part of Weinstein, that's part of the plus. Isn't there a problem now that he's helping transportation? I'm related to Mahia, he arranged transportation for them even before he left to okay, so the arranged transportation was done already beforehand. Therefore, he's not doing anything after the INS. Now you keep the guy or you can make them quickly again. With like mass and the boats with sea boats and to take these guys. Even when part of maybe arranged for him. In other words, how did you work out transportation after the wine had been squeezed? Nothing happened. And essentially, he arranged by working out with boatsmen or by giving them like a knotted rope, a wage, a fare, and therefore they were able to get on the boat just with that, but they did not have to get involved. All right, there's a lot of good actually something else. It says in the INS should have down. Skills are great. So what's up? You can just wash them off and move on. So the grapes on the calls, grapes, facts. So you have some of the wine crevices. Ultimately, again, it's going to be enough of that. So ultimately, the INS fell on figs or Yesh one benos the rain infuses into the big into the pigs. Ultimately, again, it is going to be you know, it's nice. Just one time have the life is going. Shaving grows is being grown. So that you check out the logos are dry dates. Dry figs. Dry figs. What happened? In Ishtab Habib's club is Shayai. That's none of the voters about so enough about that again. What on the dry Shalom coming the ask that you come said are Zach Bob will Kosher behind us and those things answers. Anytime that confuses taste, ultimately again it's going to be problematic. Anytime the item do not confuse taste, ultimately again it'll be what's the example of something that is called something that it doesn't Ultimately, again, like vinegar that falls onto split with lentils. Okay? And again, that is not considered any kind of taste. Okay, listen to my sense. I understand. My solicitor, the story is then zoning to contradict that part like before, right? Again, right? Again, the Mishnah said that if one fell on England or tomorrow, right? Therefore, again, it's flavor. It's also doesn't flavor tomorrow. Then it says the story about this thing. So you try things. I'm just reading that the wine do not need it. So it's like vodka honey. And no seed kind of found but the mission says when you're dealing with wine that pours over here's what they do wine used if it is detrimental, then ultimately again it's mutter. And then the nice man is a vital country. So vital country. Maybe global was the scene of the shot probably so young. Second enough all the band. Was a little bit that happened. One of the vital country was taking dried figs on a barrel of 9 nest that broke on spilled over the sea. But nice and ultimately again the Chacham says that it's mutter. The Chacham said mutter, so ultimately again, what's the logical there? So how do you tell that in this particular case, the Yayin Nesa, with the global is what most seems common it infuses detrimental flavor, and therefore what I said is no kind of people do not violate like this in the Yayin Nesa. Rabbi was a bunga over the and Yayin Nesa fell on the roof. Or on the week, broke right, this broke wheat, and Rabbi permitted to sell the wheat to an Akron. To a non-Jew, you can't sell to a Jew, but you can sell to a non-Jew. Okay? We'll give us 1 second. Ace did that about the Rabbi, so now about the Rabbi raised the shine. That gets the line, but it's only to Rabbi. But well, yeah. That's my dad's performance. This very let's say it's a winning and there's one we lost track where the world so what's that? Oh, what's the like your concern on is sharpness. So what's this? So what's the oh, I love this. Right, you don't know where the wolf thread is. So the Gemara says you're not allowed to sell that in every contract. You can't sell now. Why can't you sell from Rashi? She says in Parsha you probably disrupt. What are we concerned about? You're going to sell to an Akum, and Akum is going to turn around and sell it to a Jew. You know, not with anyone listening to him, but he's going to resell it. I jumped ahead. So that's what you can't use the sell to it could also be benefiting. This I'm sorry, about also Capricorn is you can make it, you can use it for burial shrouds for a since a mace. That's what I have. Therefore, it's okay. Burial shrouds are sharpness. So people are like, why can't you sell lost food? Us the Zaburi is we're free. Maybe sell to you. Oh, us the Zaburi is ultimately again, shouldn't we be concerned over the same thing if you have this pile of meat and the yayin nesa? How can you sell it for an hour? You don't have to do other sorrow than family or the solo dismayes. Ultimately, again, after Rabbi retract, right, Rabbi retract, or Rabbi said, you can make it into bread, you can sell it to an option, not in the present. So it's essentially, you can sell it as long as you're a notices. So, because he saw these, having masculine, or having others that are you reality for something, so happily she saw that. The time this is a very deeper and what's Ruben is start seeing you selling a loaf of bread. Small, silver smoke must be small. They're not realizing that. Salt and akron open again as long as there are no. Now, why don't you send that? You sell it well. So remember, that's Hassan. So remember again, bread from an apple has its own set of halachos and its own set of halachos. We will stop over here for today. Everyone, this was to go for all of you. I'm going to show this beautiful things. It was a great spot for some video.
Yes, I am.
For this one thing. Our annual conference this year is a Swiss for the sales levels for Andes. So, I'm for responses for the month of Av, raising honor of your parents. These love raising and new roses writing memory of standing roses rising on the rock. Or we could learn sponsors both. Shalom, then the first is on the rock. That Adler remember Father Ben Adler, Robert Baruch Mordecai Ben Moreno Ramos. Film response today. Jerry Applebaum, memory of his beloved mother Rosen Ross last and our almost need allow up to the soldiers to be successful follow begins. That is Santa Clara, 64. Really incredible document. Today we are picking up from the days 63B and we are 4, 6, 7 lines up from the bottom. That's not mean that you love that. Use our puppies. So, and not mean who love that's what we hear about Ani. And here about Ani, the sitting with them. And you must just it. About the bride. Yes, listen to the fascinating question. Suffer Mishbar Yayin Nesa. What is the law if a victim hires a Jew to smash the barrels of Yayin Nesa? Right? So if the residents are from over to Ruben, I'm going to pay you $50 an hour. Do favor, smash these barrels of yain. Mahu, what is the halacha? Is the Jew allowed to receive, to accept, to keep the wages from this world? Well, it's another again. In yesterday's daf, we were with the concept of funds or income that is traded from what may not be permitted to do, or dealing with items that themselves can be survived. Here, the uncle is asked to do something with the INSF, but he's asking me to destroy the INSF. He's going to pay me for it. So am I allowed to keep those proceeds? The Gemara says, what's the law of Miyami? Also, this is very interesting. On one hand, I want the existence of the INS. Now, why do I want the existence of the INS? Because the barrels would break on their own. I would lose the opportunity to break them, and I would lose that prognosis. On one hand, interesting, I want the existence of the INS. Because I want it, therefore, I think maybe that's the choice. And you have the Kiva. He learns that from the bottom of the Rashi. The Israels there, no typic to live on Shabbat Yosai. You actually want the existence of the barrels. Shalom Yishtabu, I don't know, Ruben doesn't want them to break on me. Actually, Shabbat he tells her that since the Jew actually wants, and this is interesting to think about, right? The Jew actually wants the Yain main in existence. I don't want it to break on its own. So therefore, maybe that's considered use from Yain. And there again, it's awesome. On the other hand, oh, the Allah, holy, you say, give lush that is a pen. This is the instruction of the Yain. Yes, instruction of Allah. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. Sure, this thing. But again, ultimately, to describe all this is a good thing, and therefore, proceed, ultimately, again, should be fascinating child. Oh, no, nothing. The Rothschild says, Yishpaka. And Nachman says, no, good job, Jew, take the job, get the money, and tell a brother, you have the opportunity to go and people do that about startup, and that is a good thing. Take the money and go. So let me see. Let's bring it. Let's say an apple plants to my client is forbidden wheat. We had such a just 2 days ago. Wheat and let's say example wheat and grape. That's the kind of forbidden mixture. So if an every problem is planted, meaning I as a Jew can't go ahead and assist him in opening like home. You know, you can't 64. What can I do? Uproot. Right? I can uproot to that. I am allowed to get Rashi. Rashi is only able of the loads to be too much for you. Let's say Akim hires and then do me a favor, I tried to fly. Now I get this Akim for trying to everything. Let's say again, he asks me to uproot it. I am allowed to do that. I'm going to get paid for working with Shirai, right? And I want assistance of the Shirai because if the Shirai is going to uproot it on their own, and he's not going to find us. So the Gemara says. So the fear from here, this is the Matthew says you are allowed to go ahead and benefit from the item when that benefit ultimately again results in the destruction of even though you by definition want to continue existence of the prohibited item because you want to be the one who destroys it so you get paid for it as opposed to being destroyed. So, second one, סגור אחר יחיד תאמר המסקיים בכליים לא general. Not only is there a prohibition to transfer, not only is there a prohibition to facilitate growth activity, but you can do anything that sustains them. So for example, actually over here, so let's say someone else comes with a line, right? African line, and the African asks you to put up a fence around the tree. And the Akiva says also, why? Because the act of putting up a fence, by definition, is part of the sustainment of the putting up the fence has nothing to do with the actual plant itself. Never it is going to be opposite from the Akiva. I'm not means meaning, the fact that means please with the I look at you get about respect because the act of being directly participating in the plan of God. Kiva says, time. That the Kiva says, even to sustain the put up the fence around the Kilayim, that's going to be problematic as well. So, this is my time, Rabbi. Where does the Kiva get that? Such public it says, do not put Kilayim in your field. I don't know the prohibition of planting. How do I know that I'm not even allowed to do something to a growth itself, like even like putting up the fence? I'm a low kilayim. Alright, so let's say, so it's interesting over here. The Gemara is making a little bit of play on words. A little play on words. So again, the Gemara is actually kind of slicing the house like low kilayim. Anything that ultimately enables the existence of kilayim, even if it's not directly involved with the actual plant itself, but just something that sustains it, that's going to be a Ilu, Gemara says, the Ilu, the Meite Tifla Shari, and also, interestingly enough, even according to the Kiva, the prohibition ultimately is being saying it's sustainable. What about if somebody's going to pay me to uproot the so the Pashtos, it sounds like that is going to be totally prohibited. The Gemara says, not necessarily. No, it doesn't have to be that thing of Rabbi. But Haman, who's the thing? Is this Rabbi? Rabbanan. Rabbanan might be okay if he was really nice. No, but it's not true. According to the Rabbanan, this is not a fence. Because Rabbanan, only Rabbi Akiva, Rabbanan hold everything you can with plants to get planted, or actively do something that facilitates the growth of the plant itself, like supporting activity. Like putting up a fence, they hold is mutter. So if putting up a fence is mutter, you can get paid for that, then still, then you can get paid for uprooting the plant itself. So you're not going to do that. To which the Gemara says, Hafam asks, what's the piece? So we are oh, interesting. Ultimately, again, I am uprooting the kilayim for free. Yaakov asked me to do it, and I'm doing it for free. So what's the problem? Watch this. You must see now. Ultimately, that is because of the opinion that Allah you are not allowed to do a favor for it. Like we actually had some meaning about this. Our Lord is what most of the means. Like it's a compliment and don't give but he says, don't give my mistake. You can't for free. You can't do something for happen for free. Even if the free favors destruction of all this Zara, you still can't do it. Which we might have Yehuda, Nishma Rabbi Akiva, Ra. The fact that you're saying suffering from Yehuda, so they're going to be Akiva. So not be permitted. Yehuda Asha Matnasina. Have you eat Tifla Shakir? Versus no, it's going to be Yehuda. And Yehuda says it's true. You can't do a favor. So you can see a free gift. You can't do a favor for but to do something to uproot avodah zarah, that's absolutely that's of objective benefit. I am Rabbi Kiva Nami. Abba Rabbi Kiva Line look, yeah. You take Tifla Shapir. You say something according to Rabbi Kiva. Even though Rabbi Kiva was a more expansive, approach to the position of the line. They're not making that planted. Not only making that into planting itself. People put up people with a green uproot the line to get rid of Isser, to get rid of prohibited, is absolutely to make can get paid for that from the applicant. It says low music. There is no to go ahead and discuss this phrase this is like the Talmudic equivalent of a night class. That's it, we're done. There's nothing more to discuss now. So also it's very interesting. Because therefore what this means is ultimately, now let's go full circle. How did we start this whole started with the case of an Akum was to break the barrels of the iron. He asked me, he wants to hire me in June to go to break the June to pay me $50 a barrel. Great, am I allowed to do it or not? So remember, on one hand, you could say no, because therefore that means I want to continue the existence of the idea. I'm just trying to but Nassim said, do it and cover Allah. If it involves the destruction of the Zara, or for that matter, a prohibited item, even though, yes, I do want to continue the existence of the INS. I get it. I don't want to break it. I want to break it. I don't like to be uprooted on its own. Absolutely. But nevertheless, I am permitted to go ahead and do the activity. It is a good thing. As the national says, you get paid. And I must say, it is really such an interesting idea. Because, kind of like part of Western society, the mindset is, like live and let live. And that is important as members of society, just in general, in society, we should approach living it. Yes, not it's not that with the nor should you nor is placed to stand in judgment of everyone else's lifestyle choices or everyone else. Live and let that's we shouldn't forget about approaching in society. At the other hand, there's also this idea that evil shouldn't be allowed to root within our world. And when there's something that is evil, it has to be uprooted. With something that is evil, it has to be broken. It has to be smashed. It has to be destroyed. Because if you let evil take root, then it's spread and unfortunately become norm. And if something's been those lines between good and evil, ultimately again, that's what the American uses the flushing of. Yes, destroy the INS and Tavo Allah Rafa. Because ridding the world of evil, that is Rafa. It's not easy. It's not easy. And it's fraught with incredible challenges. We see this for what you think about. It's such a incredible thing. If you think about what the nation of Israel is rooting out evil. And seeing that like the world would just line up, applause, right? Just clap. Because we're doing the world's dirty work. And yet it's hard because often the world sees what's evil and what's good, can't see who's right and who's wrong. But Rothschild tells us sometimes there is a live and sometimes you have to identify evil, you have to break it, you have to smash it, have to destroy it, and once you do it, ultimately the process is difficult. The process is overwhelming. But ultimately, when you get to the other side of the process, that's when it's real nothing. Incredible. The goes like that. The Gemara goes like that. Good. Hadri Yossi, again, the same Chevra was sitting, and they asked the following question. Ras Hadri Yossi, coming by like, the may so we'll say this is very interesting. What happens if an Akum sells his idol? So Akum sells his idol and I sold it for $1,000. Does that money in the hand of the Akum take on the same identity as the Avodah Zarah itself? Mito says Dana Biadovi on the identity, right? Does it take the idolatry or not? So I'm going to do nothing. So ultimately, you're going to says, Nothing says, I think it's more to that if an Akum sells his money as that money got retained idolatrous identity, but rather that was just mundane. Now, why? Listen to this. Nothing's proof. There were these people who came up for Rabbi. What happened? Another room. The Islafu, the suicide This is fascinating. So Nachman says like this. People came before Rabbi Baruch, and what happened? Rabbi Baruch, and they wanted to convert. Rabbi told them, guys, before you convert, here's what you need to do. Sell off all of your idolatry, right? Sell all of your idolatry, and then you have the cash. After you do that, then convert. Now listen, now watch this. What's the logic? Over here. Now Rashi says over here, if you look at Rashi, this guy did the Akrish, this guy will also because remember, if they convert and they still own you, then that's idolatry owned by a Jew. Idolatry owned by a Jew, number one, can never be negated, right? Can never have its identity, and it can't get enough. So it tells them instead before, while you're still Gentiles, sell it off. You have the money, then you can convert, and the money is permitted. What do you see from there? I see from here that Allah for the someone who sells his idol, that cash is permitted. It says, "My time, Yishum the Kasavar, the Naval tree that are in the hands ultimately is permitted." Don't shiny us in the heaven that day, Vadai Batla. Maybe that case is different. Why is that different? Because since they're in the process of vision, obviously they're negating the theological significance of the idol they're converting. So it could be mevatel his avodah. Maybe that's why the proceeds are mutter. Elami hacha. Rabbi Gemara says, here's the proof. Yisrael shayinoshi what we go from money. Umachar avodah. Listen to this. I lent $1,000. So what happened? So the Akum went and sold his idol, right, and brought me from the sale. Or Yayin in case I went ahead and I lent Akum $1,000. He sold his Yayin and then he brought me the proceeds of the sale. What's that? Mutter. Ultimately, again, it's mutter. Okay, interesting. Where it says, now, however, it's about hunting Yain Nesak Vilafa. Let's say the Akum same case, Akum $1,000. Still don't want to repay you. Me here, wait here. I'm going to sell my arrow. I'll be back with the proceeds. So I'm going to sell my Yain Nesek. I'll be back with the proceeds. In that case, it's awesome. See, interesting. Case number one, same case. I lent $1,000. Case number one, sells his idol, goes off, sells his asset. I have no idea what he's doing. He brings me the proceeds, pays back the debt. Case number two, I lent him $1,000. He says, I want to pay you back. Give me a couple of hours. I got to sell my idol. I got to sell my Nesef. He comes back with the proceeds. The proceeds are prohibited to me. So what's the distinction? I don't say what's the difference in these two cases. So this is very interesting. So now this is to circle back a little bit previous sugya. Here's the difference. In the second case, where the Akum says, wait here while I sell my or while I go ahead and sell my wine, I want the continued existence of the wine. Like, because I want it. So because I want it, therefore, Sheish posits the proceeds plus. Listen, one second. So we just said before that that's mutter. In other words, I will say, when you want the continued existence of something, but I'm not doing anything to further the yes, of course, I want existence of the title. I want my money. I want to continue existence. I want my money, but I'm not doing anything to facilitate the continued existence of these prohibited items. Why should it be us? Ger, listen to this. Ger, she Yarshu Adian overcomes. This is very interesting. You have two brothers. One converted and one. They're both. They're Apple brothers. One converted and one is full Apple. So brother Ger, brother. What happens? Their father died. Their father died. Their father. So they want to split the estate. In the estate, let's say permitted items. So get Loma Local Haka animals for other Yaines at Panteros. So brother Ger, take to brother Akum, said brother Akum, you take all the idolaters, you take all the Yaines at Panteros. You do that, then you should bow, and that's good. However, you should be us. Obviously, all this piece of obviously once that happens, there's no more recourse, right? But well, there is no see this. Sorry, it's much more complicated. So as long as brother Ger has not yet taken possession of these items, no problem. No problem dividing up. Brother Ger already took possession. So that's almost what do you see? How much on my side now? In this case, brother Ger wants to continue the existence of the idolatry of the Yain, but he's not doing anything active to promote his continued existence, and therefore it's mutter. So what's the problem? Which is Rabbi Ba'ula Masnis. What's the case of this Mishnah? This Mishnah is talking about an item like it's made of gold or silver. Even if it breaks, it's still valuable. So therefore, again, brother Ger doesn't actually care if it remains in its whole state or not. Even if it breaks, who cares? It's still has value. Which the Gemara says that's fine. That works fine for an idol. How would you explain it then a guy the Pharaohs had drainage. So what's the drainage? Adrianic so apparently it actually points out that the Adrianic thing where ultimately we start absorbing. Therefore, when you put wine in there, you can take a shard of that earthenware, put it in water, and reconstitute water. In that case, also, brother here doesn't compare. The value is still retained. Which the Gemara says the one saying, even if that's so, even if brother doesn't care about the fact that it's great, right? But he does care whether or not he gets still. So he still wants to continue existence. When I talk about Lucia's Hagia, don't bring a riot in this case. Bringing a riot in the case of the inheritance of Hagia. No, Shani Lucia's Hagia got killed by Rabbi. Rabbis were made by the Rothschild. In other words, normally, the Gemara says perhaps this case should be problematic. But halacha l'maisa, Chazal was by the idols is absolutely committed to work this out with his blood. Right, and so you take this, you take the whatever this stuff off your yes, he wants to continue existence. Why? Why would he go by a year that Zera Shemin Yaksu? We are afraid that this again has to make a choice. Between his money, his Yusha, and his religion, he will choose his money and choose his and also, it's not a knock on the dead. The reality is he chooses before as well. For example, said that in certain cases, step. The truth doesn't always have to return that which is still. The victim should not accept back the stolen wine in order to and facilitate the truth. Difficult people to engage in self-sacrifice when it comes to money is necessary. And you know, as much as we say, as long as you have your health, true. As long as you have your health, and you can pay your bills. Right? Because if you don't have money, just things are like this. And many people do not stand up to religious challenges. There's a choice in religion, and we're afraid that the choose and ultimately again show he's maybe tempted to choose these again not because of the gift so if I want to spend in that situation they're going to make over by a care so we say that often in these kind of cases you're going to have a mistake with this city items, therefore allow him to keep them. City items give his Akum brother this measure. When is this so? Years of Yusha. And in the case that business partnership would be awesome. So see from here, Azal allowed certain things to happen in the context. You show that they would not have no longer in other context as well, because we don't want to look at this in this very incredible. Remember that the other Yosef timelines. Remember that all this is the same people sitting together. Another question. Ger kosher not for our. So this is very interesting. Can a ger kosher go ahead and let's say before we go on. This idea that Chazal would go back again. Just the tremendous Halacha is structured in a way to make us succeed. The Ribono Shel Olam wants us to succeed. And sometimes people have a very skewed view of Halacha. That God was waiting for us to mess up. Chazal waiting for us to mess up so we can levy some type of punishment. That's the key. The Rothschild wants our success more than we want. Chazal wants our success and we want us. All of the rules, all the scriptures, all the punishments are only there to put us past the success, not to set us down when we go and we make a mistake. But again, Rothschild understood what we really want to be successful. Chazal understood what we really want to be successful. And when they relax the standards to make a success, they do it. It's incredible. They do it. When success is accomplished through relaxing of standards, Chazal do it. You have no greater application in this world. That's in this world than in this world. In this world, Chazal have successes. Okay, question. Other Yosef Cohen about Ger Tosha, Marshe Baton, what's very interesting. Can a Ger Tosha go ahead and abolish or use idolatry? Remember again, an actual has the ability to negate his idolatry, thereby keeping it from its status of hypocrisy. So again, now we're going to see this. My focus is left. Rashi points out from the top of the graph, Ger Tosha ain't no. But again, he's like an apple in everything else except he doesn't worship. Like he believes in God, he doesn't worship idolatry. In every other respect, he's a man. Does such a person have the ability to decommission idolatry? Where says, on one hand, the Halach without the Lord Halach. He says, only one who worships idolatry can decommission idolatry. Although a covering name, the back of the high bar name. And we say like this. If you're in the parsha of an apple, then you can go ahead and be and this guy is in the parsha. It's not Jewish. It's not Jewish. So because it's not Jewish, it's in the parsha of an apple. So because of that, even though Hashem, he himself doesn't worship idolatry, but he has the Torah to go ahead and negate it. The rest of the world are not so I'm going to stop the call of the battle group. Rothschild says, well, only someone who worships it, but someone who doesn't worship idolatry cannot agree idolatry. Therefore, the Ger Toshel doesn't have the ability to must Mason, there is a conscious force in social, that's how this is. So, when they had found idolatry in the marketplace, what's up? Well, actually, lost the other. So, what's it? I remember again. So, let's say, what? Listen to this case. I'm going to sitting there on the right? Because they're not the elite. They want to be part by you essentially to be decommissioned. So, what do? Actually, before I pick it up, over Kochav and Kumevat, I can call over an apple. Remember, those call over an apple and see the apple. And you get to do this idolatry, decommission. Like theological decommissioning. So go ahead and engage in theological decommissioning. It's permitted. However, again, but again, take it out. Take possession of it. At that point, it cannot be decommissioned. Only Medanta Avodos Kochavim B'Shachavim. And Ovid Kochavim Nachum to decommission his own Avodah Zarah or the Avodah Zarah of his son. Day of dawn, day but he doesn't worship. And they find this new thing. My of dog might what does it mean? What does it mean that after the decommission of the Zarah, ships that it doesn't but if you want to say that I wasn't talking about Akli, then how you should already said if you actually decommission his his friend. And a lot of the Ovid Kochanim, who might a lot of the Ovid Kochanim, right? Ultimately, again, of the means or action. Who might what does it mean? A non-word, Ger Toshel. Oh, who is able to go ahead and decommission both an actual apple and a Ger Toshel? Now you know, Ger Toshel. What do you see from here? That a Ger Toshel has the ability to be without. So ultimately, to logically decommission Avodah Zarah. Incredible. Which says no. The ultimate evil part is not sure. Rabbi will be the only person who can decommission Avodah Zarah actual idol worship that happens. I visit Kamrit and you shall the stuff I already said that. And he already said that it says racial, listen to this. It's two different cases. Racial Zed is that what are is that Michael's. Racial is teaching me like this. If you have two apples, right? And both worship God. Or both worship, obviously, again, Apple 1 can negate his idol and his friend's idol. And Apple 2 can negate his idol and his friend's idol. Seifa is zealot for all his idols. The Seifa teaches something different. Let's get one who worships Marcellus and one who worships Baal. What's the novelty of you? And actually, worship doesn't worship. So let's say, so really three halachos. Number one, an apple can negate his own idolatry. Good. Number two, Akum can negate his friend idol if they worship the same idolatry. And halacha number three is that Akum can negate his friend's idolatry even if he worships a different. Incredible. So the Gemara says. But again, no riot at a gear shop. Comes to a gear shop, we still actually have any gear shop, which is a Gentile who repudiated idolatry can feed from the back level. I'm starting this. That's amazing when it's touched up. Easy gear. What's a gear shop? So now we're getting more depth. What is the definition of it? זה כל שקיבלו בפני דימו חביבים שלא לעבוד את something given. Mayor says any action who is accepted of himself in front of three having it's not as being exposed as before. Other normally use somebody's careful. This is careful of that human time. So in this context, not just what it just means that anytime an athlete comes in front of a base, and he repudiates idolatry, that's a good. That's a good photo. Good. Say, people are not 7 mitzvot. People are not 7 mitzvot. Okay, and your question is any was accepted. So, no applied. That's a careful. Shutting himself up, the next one. Even only able all the dogs. That's either of these definitions satisfy the definition of gear kosher. What is a gear kosher? Gear kosher. That gear open the veils. When you hold mitzvahs and muras controller, puts mitzvahs in the veils. This is very interesting. What is a gear kosher? The kosher is someone ultimately again who eats not supposed to eat the veils, but he has accepted for himself the rest of the mitzvahs. It's a pretty shocking definition. It looks like really my focus out there. Definitely Rabbi Meir, he accepted it for himself in front of the lazy idolatry. Chachamim, he accepted it for himself Shem Yisrael. Achirim, he has accepted for himself all of the mitzvahs except the laws of Slati and kosher. Incredible. He did excellent. Yain, they were not excellent. Yain. Rashi says over there, we saw my nephew. The Magal come to us in the Amma base of Rothschild. Ultimately, again, we took a present wine in for a short amount of time. Not for a longer amount of time because we're concerned that he swap out the Jews' wine for his own wine. Okay. And this is true even in a city where the majority of the inhabitants are Jews. You could leave it in wine for a short amount of time. Not to with Yaines, or not to Yaines, not because he's repudiated idolatry, right? But we are going to over time, for a longer amount of time, we switch his wine for the Jews. Short amount of time is winter, a longer amount of time is no. The says, and oil is like this one. What is that? Smoke is, and I thought, Shemen, Mika, it's not possibly one with oil hello, Yengo, Kishmano. He's not trying to use it like this. That's a lot for my sauce. Is wine, is wine is like this word, just like his oil is committed to ultimately again is wine. I look at that just a moment. That's just one of the ideas. You know what the what does it mean that his oil is like, excuse me, that his wine is like his oil? It's get enough. His oil is get enough. You can't drink the wine to get enough, but ultimately get enough. It's a shot of dollar, ultimately, and for every other thing, a real call legal. He is like an which must consider. Yeno, Yayin, okay, Mutter, Va'amutter. Shimon says this wine is like Yayin Nessa, but others say ultimately, again, that it is Mutter, ultimately, again, for consumption. So let's see plug over here. We'll pick up a new question. Actually, let's tell you let's finish this again. Telling us, what do you see from here? They're telling us is satisfied by the Republic of we see from here that the apple here is like an apple regarding every other matter. Reminding himself, ultimately, again, when we say that it's a crucial apple, what is that? Which the man says to love, in the back of a West Coast of it, can't have a West Coast of it. It doesn't have we're again kind of just hoping that they're trying to figure out doesn't get gate idolatry. If you ask me definitions idolatry. So now we just got things that in this respect, I get folks that are unique. But other than that, it's like it happens. Doesn't it just as it happens? You theologically teaching you did have all this you kind of get those up. You kind of get those up. Which the Gemara says no. No. We seem you're so school about those things. No, it actually means something else. It's actually shots. What does it mean? Shots? What's it like? The Shaman Shabbat was just eight of Hazims. If you have multiple homes and others for a courtyard, you cannot carry from a home to that courtyard. Some of homes to a courtyard with having what it essentially means we collect food from already inhabitants of the Futzar. They join together, and that joint food makes it into the domain of one home. There's a concept of only the Futzar. That the halacha is the of the Jew who did not join to the Futzar. He could yield his Shabbos starting. Forgot to participate in the Irish. He can yield his right members of the Futzar. If there is a non-Jewish resident, the halacha is you have to rent his rights. You cannot simply yield his rights, you have to rent his rights. We saw the Shabbat of the shop, ultimately, again, you have these moments. Unfortunately, again, you saw to hostage. So as long as he's not in the hostage, right? As long as externally, right? The public to keep shadows. Privately, he doesn't keep shadows. But at least in public, he keeps shadows. And what's the halacha? Oh, the doctor shows only specific areas he gets used to essentially yield his rights in the process. Shemesh Shabbos in the Rothschild shows, but again, he publicly violates Shabbos, and essentially like it happens, and it's not enough for him yield his rights in the Chaser. So guys, rather, you have to right his rights. And in Sha'amru, Yisrael, no sin was just from the right? Yisrael ultimately again has the ability to go ahead and yield his rights, give up his rights, or give over his rights to the other residents. By Apple, ultimately you have to rent. You have to rent. So therefore, again, the word saying that when you say there was just costing all how was you, for example, yield his right to give over his rights to the Omer law, I hereby give over my rights. I my rights to the custody, or or my rights are invaded. Ultimately, quiet. It's not participatory participation in the group. Names us as sources in general. Again, you need to participate in all of these residents. In general, the residents who did not participate, even on Shabbos, he could yield his rights in the or just simply ownership rights, the husband as everyone else does. Even if he's a woman, as long as the public comes across as Jewish, ultimately he could yield or he could go and be by Apple, you have to go ahead and acquire his rights. And you saw a woman who's public like as we said before, that their culture ultimately again is treated like an apple for all other things we need to be a chutzner with a ger kosher. The Jews in the chutzner want to make it rid of zeros, they must lend space, they must lend the rights ultimately again of ger kosher. Now whether or not the ger kosher is actually going to be in the external side, it's about daf, better everyone, what a daf, very successful all of you, and see everyone can go. Right now, and try to and you can use Ethereum, Ethereum, DSC, let's spot for some tea. All of you this morning because I think all of our sponsors for this morning. Good thing. Our annual coming to us. Closing self-awareness is dedicating all the German club. It's a Swiss for the Souls for us for Israel. Our for the month of Stephen Rabbi raising animal parents, Israel raising, Juna raising, and New Roses flag in memory of Stanley Rising. Our week of learning sponsors, Dr. Edmund Faith Wolf, mention of the yard site of Dr. Wolf's father, Simon Wolf Shalom, then Steve Hirsch, Houston and Adler in memory of their father, Ben Adler, Robert Baruch, Mordecai, Ben, sponsors for today, Jerry Applebaum, memory of his beloved mother, Rosie Applebaum, Ruffles, the families in the family, all those leaders who shall get all the use all of us have to be allow all the soldiers to be successful follow up nicely. Most of that is son of Dallas. Really incredible job ahead of us today. We are picking up from son of Dallas on the base 63B, and we are picking up 2, 4, 6, 7, 1 bottom. This is Rav so again, Rav Nachman, Ula, Avinu Bar Papi, Yasser, Yisrael Bar Ami Bar. Here Bar Ami is sitting with them in mercy. Yosef, how about my wife? He asked the following question. Listen to the fascinating questions. Talk about which brother What is the halacha if a Muslim hires a Jew to smash barrels of yayin nesa? So if you're going to comes over to you, I'm going to pay you $50 an hour. Do me a favor, smash these barrels of yayin nesa. What is the halacha? Is the Jew allowed to receive and to accept the wages from his process? Remember, again, in yesterday's daf, we were dealing with the concept of funds or income that is generated from what may or may not be permitted activity or dealing with items that themselves may be also valuable. So here, the Yaakov is asking to do something with Yayin Nesa, he's asking you to destroy Yayin Nesa. He's going to take me for it. So I am to keep those close. The Gemara says, what's the halacha? Also, he's very interesting. On one hand, I want the existence of the Yayin Nesa. Now, why do I want the existence of the Yayin Nesa? The barrels of the grape on their own, I would lose the opportunity. I know, one interesting enough, I want the existence of the Yayin Nesa because I want it. Therefore, again, maybe that makes the process perfect. Look at Rashi just a moment. Near Mitzvah, 3 lines up from the bottom of Rashi. The Yisrael say, "Lo tikiru shachari osei." Jews want the existence of these barrels. Shalom yishkav akshamei land. I don't have a Reuben doesn't break on their own. Actually, Saturday rule, he tells us. So these say that since the Jew actually was, and it's interesting to think about this, right? Like the Jew actually was the Yayin Nesa to remain in existence. I don't. So therefore, maybe it's considered to be proceeds from Yayin Nesa, and therefore, again, it's us. On the other hand, just like Saturday, and we're talking this is the Yayin Nesa construction of a This is a good thing. This is a good thing. Short about some existence, but again, ultimately, to describe all the results, ultimately, again, should be fascinating challenge. I'm not. So Nachman says, Yishvar b'kol ha'mlacha. Nachman says, take the job, truly take the job, get the money, and tell a brother you should be blessed. You have the opportunity to go and root out that Zara. That is a good thing. Take the money and go. So you must limit the evidence. Let's bring the proof to this idea. So the cheater on that. Ain't Ochi in the object of my wheat and let's say example wheat and grape. So if I, the Jew, can't go ahead and assist. You can't do that. Happens 64 hours. So what can I do? I can uproot, right? I can uproot that I am allowed to do. let's say Apple hires sober. He asks me to uproot it. I'm allowed to do that even on leave from working with Shilawat and the sisters of the because if the guy's not uproots on their own, and he's out in my hand. So the Gemara says, because nothing says you are allowed to go ahead and benefit financially from a given item when benefit ultimately again results in the destruction of the item. Though you by definition want to continue the existence of the prohibited item because you want to be the one who destroys paid for it. It's how to be destroyed on its own. So there's a similar 64. So grew up on money, who's the thing? And the canyon of the Chilean record is very interesting. People hold to it in general. Not only is there a plan to go ahead and facilitate the growth of the but you can't do anything that sustains time. For example, Rashi points out that here, so let's say someone else comes to the line, right? Apple has line, and the Apple has to put up a fence around the line. The Akiva says also, why? Because the act of putting up a fence by definition is part of the steaming of the line. Even the fence has nothing to do with the actual plant itself. Nevertheless, it is going to decide. I'm not meaning. The concept means covering the seeds with the picture. You get all this special because you're actually this is after the kind example. Put up the fence around the lion, that's when you come in the field. In the other, how do I know that I'm not even allowed to do something to sustain the actual growth itself? Like even putting up the fence, I'm a little more low kill iron. Alright, so let's say so it's interesting that you are making a little bit of a play on words. A little bit of a play on words. So again, the word is actually slicing the concept low kill. Anything that ultimately again enables the even if it's not directly involved with the actual plant itself, which is something that sustains the destiny of the mas ultimately interesting, not even according to the Kiva. According to the Kiva, what about if somebody's going to pay you to uproot so the hush sounds like that is going to be totally interesting. Umar says, no, doesn't feel like rather common. Here's the thing, this Rabbanon might be your opening and you coming down your shopping. No, that's not true. According to the Rabbanon, this is Rabbanon means right, because Rabbanon only can do that. Rabbanon has nothing he can do plant it, or actively do something that facilitates the growth of the plant itself. Some type of like support the fence they hold is looking. So it's putting up a fence in there. If you pay for that, then certainly a thing you can get for uprooting it. So it's not going to be a problem. Which the Gemara says, from a scheme of this very interesting so here, where ultimately I am uprooting the lion for free. Yaakov asked me to do it, and I'm doing it for free. So let's say, Marcus, Rabbi Yehuda Amar, King Lahem Maskinan, Rabbi Yehuda is of the opinion that halacha l'maisa you are not a favor for us. Like he actually has the meaning of a halacha. All my folk is what that doesn't mean them. Don't give them a but he says don't count free. You can't do something happen for free. Even if the favor is destruction of a Zara, you still can't. Is that Yehuda? Kiva La. Now, the fact that you're saying this exception to Yehuda sounds like they're going to be a Kiva. This is not be permitted. Yehuda also became a Makasina. About Tifla shocking. Mar says no. When can you do that? And Yehuda says it's true. You can't do a favor, so to speak, give a free gift. You can't do a favor for an but something to uproot about the Zara, that's actually that's an objective benefit. I keep it nami. I thought of Rabbi Akiva Makain Kilaim look, yeah? Tifla Shakri. You say something according to Rabbi Akiva. Even Rabbi Akiva was a more extensive, approach to the prohibition of Kilaim. That not only can you not plant it, not only can you not see the actual planting itself, but you can't even put up a fence to sustain it. Even Rabbi Akiva would agree to uproot Kilaim to get up this dirt is absolutely permitted, and you can get paid for that from the option. Which the Gemara says, so low movie, there is nothing else to go ahead and discuss it. It's great. This phrase is so movie. This is like the Talmudic equivalent of like a mic drop, the sulo movie, that we're done. There's nothing more to discuss. So therefore, what this means is ultimately, now let's go for full circle. How did this all started by the case of Ezra wants to break his vows of Yainesa. He asks me, he wants to hire me, a Jew, to go and break. He's willing to pay me $1,000 a barrel. Great. So am I allowed to do it or not? So remember, on one hand, you could say no, because therefore I want to continue the existence of the Yainesa, and I'm benefiting from a Avodah. On the other hand, I'm just trying to Avodah. Instead, do it until if it involves direction of Avodah, or for that matter, I do want the existence of the Ines to get there. I don't want it to break on its own. I want to break it. I don't want this guy to be uprooted on its own. I want to uproot it. But nevertheless, I am committed to go get people for them to keep the proceeds like the destruction of people. The instruction of prohibition ultimately is a good thing. As it says, you get paid and cover I will say there is really such an interesting idea, kind of like part of Western society. And mindset is, like live and let live. And as members of society, general approach to living in integrated society, you should take an approach to living. Yes, it's not your nor is it the place to step in judgment of everyone else's lifestyle choices or everything. Live and let live. That's the thing that has to be our approach build society. On the other hand, it's also teaching us this idea that evil shouldn't be allowed to take root. And when there's something that is evil, it has to be uprooted. When there's something that is evil, it has to be broken. When there's something that is evil, it has to be smashed. It has to be destroyed. Because if you let evil take root, then it spreads and it becomes the norm. And if someone is getting evil, ultimately again become incredibly good. And that's why that actually uses the question of yes, for the INSF and cover above love. Because ridding the world of evil is a bracha. That is a bracha. It's easy. It's not easy. And it's caused incredible challenges. See this for what without such an incredible thing. That you want the nation you assume that like the world would just line up false. Right? Because we're doing the world's dirty. And yet, again, it's hard because often the world can't see what's evil, what's good, and see who's right and who's wrong. But the Matthew tells us sometimes there is a middle way, and sometimes the Matthew says, Ishbar is Kabbalah. Sometimes you have to identify evil, you have to break it, you have to smash it, you have to destroy it. You have to do it, ultimately the process is difficult. The process is too long. But ultimately inside of the process, that's what it's doing. Incredible. More goes like that. The Gemara goes like that. But Hadri Yasvi, so again, the same kind of thing. And they asked about Mas Hadri Yasvi, the may have a list of the other. So what's it? This is very. What happens when Akum sells his idols? So Akum sells his idol and he has now sold for $1,000. $1,000. Does that money in the hands of the Akum the same identity as the Akum itself? Now, Mitofes has done that the Akum. Does it take the identity, right? Does it take on the identity of idolatry or not? So it's very interesting. So ultimately, we're going to not consider. You stop with the it says in this motor. I think it's motor that if an Akum sells his idol, that money is not retaining idolatrous identity. But rather, that money is just money being money. Yeah, all right. Listen to this. Here's nothing. You can handle the idea. There were these people watching. The Suez Sky. This is fascinating. So that comes like this. There were these people who came up Rabbi. And what happened? Rabbi. And he wanted to convert. God told them, guys, before you convert, here's what you need to do. Sell your idolatry, right? Sell off all of your idolatry, and then you have the cash. After you do that, then you and then watch this. What's going on? And Rashi says over here, if you look at Rashi, you guys look at the suit. Both these guys are the this guy will also look at all this. Because remember, if they convert and still be idolatry, then they have idolatry by a Jew. Idolatry by a one can never give, right? Never have this identity. They can't get enough from it. She tells them instead of a foot, while you're still Gentiles, sell a seed from there. Obviously, seeking it, if a local way selling, actually sells his idol, that's sale of idolatry. That are in the hands of the ultimately is there in the process of conversion. Obviously, if you're an example, maybe that's why the proceeds are not. I don't need the house. I don't need a house. I didn't get it. Listen to this. I lent $1,000. So what? the uncle went and sold his right and brought me the proceeds from the sale. Or I went ahead and I lent $1,000. He sold his yayin and he brought me the proceeds of the mutter. Filthy again is mutter. The Gemara says, now, however, watch this. Unless they be in the same case, let the $1,000. She's still going to repay you. To me, the way here, I'm just going to sell my the proceeds. Or I'm going to sell my yayin. Yes, I'll be back with the proceeds. In that case, it's possible. See here, in case number one, same case. I lent up to $1,000. Case number, he goes off, sells his item, sells his yayin. I know what he's doing. He brings the proceeds, pays back the debt. Case number two, same thing. I lent him a couple of hours. I got to sell my idol. I got to sell my the proceeds. The proceeds are prohibited. I effectively murder my generation. So what's the distinction? I don't understand what's the distinction. See from you make kilos of the so this is to circle back a little bit to the previous. So here's the difference. In the second case, here, while I sell my idol, or while I go ahead and sell my wine, I want to continue. I don't want to continue to sell the wine. Why? Because I want to get paid. So because I want it, Sheshes posits the proceeds. Listen, what's that again? That's what. In other words, it looks like. But I'm not doing anything to first. I want to continue to exist on that idol until the apple sells money. I want to continue to exist on money. But I'm not doing it to facilitate the continued existence of these president items. Why should it be so? But none. You have all the you have two brothers. One converted. They're both brothers. One converted and one is one out. So brother Ger, brother out. So their father died. Their father died. Not the inheritance their father. So they want us to in the estate is idolatry, and let's say primitive items. So Ger, Yapa, Loma, so Ger, it says to brother Akum, you take all the idolatry stuff. You take all the potatoes. You can do that. Then you should bow, and that's needed. However, then you should bow here. Obviously, all of this presupposes that there has not yet actually or obviously what happens is no more weakness. Like, but well, there is no real weakness. You can get happens in the background, but it's much more complicated. Once it's only there are really very little. However, if whether it's their possession that is possible, it's the ultimate good, and what do you see from there? The halach reminds me of the existence of the idolatry, the yayin, anything active, what is continued existence, and it's mutter. So here's Rabbi Barula, all those what's the case of your house? An idol that says made of what even if it breaks, it's still valid. You actually care if it remains whole state or not, even downward. Which we must say that works fine for an idol. Now, how would you think then of Yair? The Adrianic person. So apparently, Rashi points out over here, Adrianic thing where ultimately where it's very extreme. So when you put wine in there, the person where it absorbs 1 to 3 degrees, if you take a shard of that where put it in water and keep water. In that case, what is there doesn't tasks because in singularly the values to which the rest of the ones are lost the human say even one second even if that's so even if God is there doesn't care about the fact that it's great right but the not is still in the lost so on there continue to exist you're bringing a right you're bringing a person here no shiny rushas again that kilo barat that goes by the Rusha. In other words, normally, Normally, the Gemara says perhaps this case should be problematic. But halacha b'maisa, Chazal were making by Yerusha. And as long as the ger has not yet actively taken possession by Nesach or the idols, absolutely permitted to work with his brother. Take this, you take this, prohibited stuff, I'll take permitted stuff. Why? Make by a ger that people are banon, zera, shemi, yasu. We are afraid if the ger has to make a choice between his money, his Yerusha, and his religion chooses. And that's not a knock on you. That's reality of community. We've seen this before as well. For example, right? This is called Chaos and Shalom. Chazal said that in certain cases, theft, thief doesn't always have to return that which is victim should not accept that stolen item. Why? To go ahead and facilitate the afraid if the thief has heard everything, you have heard it's difficult for people to engage in self-sacrifice financially. Right? Money is necessary as much as we say, as long as you have your health, it's true. As long as you have, and you can pay your bills. Because if you don't have money, and people do not stand up to religious challenges, there is a choice between religion that yes, between halacha. Okay, again, he's in Rothschild, he may be tempted to choose his again, not because of the get discrimination. So some people want to put in that situation. They may go by a hair, and that often in this kind of case, you have a state that is comprised of permitted items and forbidden items, therefore allow him to keep the permitted items if his brother all of the president. Incredible. We'll say any days. You know, an okay advice that supports this. Imagine when is this so? She or she is a solution. But in the case, let's say the business partner will be awesome. So you see from here, Chazal allowed certain things in the context of Shah that they would not have allowed to occur in other places as well. So you don't want to put the person in this in order to get in this precarious type of situation. Incredible. So remember that 100,000 timelines. Remember again, all this is the same people running, sitting together. Another question that came up. Ger Kosha now she back for all this. So we'll say this is very interesting. Ger Kosha. Go ahead. Then we'll say just before we go on. It's a gift that Chazal will make go by the Ger. How is structured in a way to make us succeed. They bono shall olam succeed. Sometimes people have a very skewed view of that the Spark is waiting for us to see if they smack us down. Because I was waiting for us to stop so we could let these type of punishment that come up against us. That's a key phrase from the truth. Rachel wants our success more than love success. Chazal wants us more than we want us. All these scriptures, any law punishments are only to put us on a path to success, not to smack us. Then we go ahead and make a mistake. But again, Chazal understood what we need to be successful. And when to relax the standards to make us successful, they do it. First, Chazal do that. No, you have no greater items in the world. That's in this world than in the successes. One question. How do you guys talk about it? What's the very interesting? Can a Tosha go ahead and validate idolatry? Remember again, an apple, thereby decommissioning its status of theological importance. So, Ger Tosha, you want to know what is about the definition of the Ger Tosha? Rashi points out that at the top of the daf, Ger Tosha, Einovi Avodas ultimately, again, he does worship idolatry. But again, he's like everything else, doesn't worship idolatry. No, that's it. It's a very big thing. Right? He believes in that Baruch Hu. In other respect, he's a man. So does such person have the ability to decommission idolatry, to negate idolatry? Whereas, on one hand, what's about the world the only one who worships idolatry can decommission idolatry. Or maybe not. Let me say this. Anyone who's what we call if you're in the parsha of an apple, then you can say, is in the parsha. Not true. So because he's in the parsha of an apple, because of that, even though Baruch Hashem, he himself doesn't worship idolatry, but he has the power to go ahead and negate it. You know, someone who Nachman said that about the number of Nachman says, well, only someone who can negate it. So someone who doesn't speak cannot negate it. But the Ger Tosha doesn't have the ability to negate idolatry. You must have missed it. It's a question. It's one second. He's social, that's a whole mission. Listen to this. So, listen to this case. I'm walking in the shop. I'm walking in my house. I see a gold that I've acquired. I want it to be acquired by a Jew, essentially, Call over an apple. Remember the most detective is call over an apple and see if the apple and indicate this idolatry. Decommission. But you want to decommission. Go ahead and engage in theological decommission of the temple. I don't know if it becomes permitted. However, again, you should also go from the back. But again, at that point, Ovid כוכבן מדע עבודות כוכבן חבירה. Ovid כוכבן אנחנו or the Avodah of his friend. They have gone, they she'ino. Whether he worships it or he doesn't worship it. What does it mean to worship? What does it mean that if you want to say that we're not happening, I use shalom shachari. You already said that. So before that, Akum has the ability to feel like his Avodah and the Avodah of his friend. And a lot of the Ovid Kohanim, my shit is a lot of the Ovid Kohanim, right? Ultimately, again, of the means natural action. My shit, though, what does it mean? Non-word first, their tongue. Oh, so who is able to go ahead and do both natural action? Money knows, there's first of none of that. Let me see the mirror, but again, first of has the ability to be with us. Also, if you do not decondition, have only incredible. Rabbi will be the only person who can decommission of the Zohar is accurate. I mean, Shalom B'Shach, they said that the advice is done. You already said that his Avodah and his friend's Avodah. You know, Later, two different cases. Isha is dead. Is that the power? Is that the Later, teaching like this. You have two actions. Both worship power, or both worship Marcus. Obviously, again, after one idol and his friend's idol can negate his idol and his friend. Seifa is Zella power. Oh, the Seifa teaching something different. Let's say one acting works Marcellus and one who works what's the analogy over here? And after worship an idolatry, even if he doesn't worship. So let's say maybe if you have a husband for it. Good. And at the gate, his idol, if they worship the same. And halacha number 3, Akum could negate his friend's idolatry, even if incredible, so the Gemara says. Next, but again, no raya about a gear coach. Right? So when it comes to Moshe, we still like to go to the coach, which is a Gentile, who repudiated idolatry, can't feed about this. Now we started it. So basically, there's catch up. Basically, gear coach up. What's a gear coach up? So now we're getting more definition. What is the definition of the word? Is that kosher kibbutz that may be most reason? Shalom is from the Mir says it's any apple who is accepted as offered for the free habit. Again, I will say, someone is careful with choosing us. Someone is careful about too much time. Any kind of apple comes in front of a face. Idolatry, that's all. Good, that's all there. Come say, Seven mitzvot, the kosher kibbutz, Allah, Seven accepted for himself, he said no applies to us. Don't see the apology. That's a gear kosher. Seven mitzvot, Allah, so makes it even only able to go follow the actual, even say, what is a gear kosher? Rothschild, זה יהיה אותו נברוס, שפידון עליו פרעים, כל מצוות המורס בתורה, חוץ מאיסר נברוס. What is the definition of the Rothschild? The Rothschild again. Who eats not to eat the neighbors, but he has accepted it for himself the rest of his acceptance. Pretty shocking. Looks like very much closes out that definition. Rabbi there, he accepted it for himself in front of the Rothschild, he accepted it for himself. He has accepted all the mitzvot except he's not talking like incredible. The bicycle one, Yachad did excellent. But he would be here to look at our face. The person wanted to get stuff. We can look over the time. I should say you can wine for a short enough time. But you can't get constant wine for a long time. Now, what are we concerned about here? We're concerned ultimately how much practice is on what I use for now, the financial actually like to know your thinking about it. Well, not the wrong asset. We're not going to come to us in the Amma base of what more like a amazing. So does it wine with me? For sure. Not for a longer amount of time because we're concerned that you swap out choose wine for his own. Okay. And this is true even in the city of Jews. You could leave with him wine for us. Not for a long time, but not necessarily. Or not to the very much, because he's repeated idolatry. Right? But we are concerned that over time, for a long time, he may his wine for a certain amount of time. We'll just over the time. Shmano, Yena. Oil is like what is that? Shmano tastes like Shana, Nita, Honey, Yaina. It's not properly well with oil. Oil can be into Hello, yes, Shmano. Interesting, incredible uses of this. And also, when I saw that ultimately again is oil. Just like his oil is permitted, so too ultimately again is his wine. Now look at Rashi for just a moment. Rashi Shmano mi habiyah es ayeno mutebano Shmano kodu shel Hashem ma'afilotai aval b'shtia aser. And what does it mean that his oil was like that? Excuse me. His wine is like his oil. That the same way that you get enough from his oil, you can get enough from his wine. I can't drink the wine of the Rothschild, but ultimately you can get enough from his wine. The sharp called davar ultimately meant for every other thing. How do you call it? Is like he is like an he's like an Jewish Muslim. Shimon Omer, Yeno, Yayin. He says his wine is like Yayin. That's again for so she actually calls up the word, and we'll pick up. Actually, let's turn it off. Let's finish. What do you see? Turning it off. Shout out you see from your like regarding remind ultimately again which the Gemara says, "Love in the back of let's go fucking." Yeah, let's go fucking. It doesn't happen because it's more than kind of this whole thing. Got started as a trying to figure out how to get this to have the equipment to the gate of Dallas, to the last week decommission. So now we just got things, and then in this respect, I get close to the and they don't drop. Which the Gemara says, no, no. Meeting the shows without those, so no. Actually, uses the what do you got? Sandra. So more. The Shaman Shabbat is most in the country. If you have multiple you can just carry from us. And if you have somebody right? In the essential news to collect from all of the evidence. And that brings you into the main mode. The culture, that's the stuff. But I hope that is
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here, Yucky Duck. First and foremost, you all need to be following Yucky Duck, and you need to be in the Waddle. The Discord is discord/the Waddle, THEWADDLE. Make sure that you're a member. Also, Duck, you know how we always need to make sure that supporting our hosts, our coaches, and those that support them. Ensure you are supporting 32 Dream. We're going to try to get her to 100,000 followers in 2026. And whether we do it or not, we're going to make an absolute best effort. If you can, send me a follow. I follow everyone back. I'm the easy follow back in the game. I'm Rabbi. You know who I am. I stream my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 300 a year for world peace. I've been doing so for more than 4 years. My streams go back to the pandemic. We've seen the death of a queen, the birth of AI, the coronation of a king, and everything in between. This is a real life Truman Show, a real life Big Brother. This is a timeline and a time capsule of human achievement. In the 1990s, Bill Gates coined the phrase, content is king, and I'm making it true today. Internet. This is the biggest event in history, and here's why. In 2018, The Economist magazine stated that data had overtaken petroleum as Earth's number one resource, and I have more data archived than any person ever, which is making me very influential. I'm going viral. When I do, I want to make you, your friends, your family, all financially independent if you're not. I want to ensure that you have generational wealth if you don't already, and I want you to be able to start charities and philanthropies of your own. I'm unlike any influencer ever going to meet. I'm not live on one YouTube streams. I'm live on over 20 simultaneous YouTube streams 24 hours a day. You can view my life in 360 degrees. I even have a ceiling camera. If you want to view my YouTube streams, they're my profile. Additionally, you'll find a link in my pinned post. You'll also find in my pinned post a link to my link tree. Nobody dares you to look at that link tree, but I do, because I have more social media than any person ever. I have more content than any person ever. You'll also find a link to my Discord, discord.me/Rabbi. We have over 2,700 people in the community and continue to grow each day. In addition to making you all extremely wealthy and wanting to promote world peace, I want to help end world hunger through the use of technology, such as agricultural drones, floating greenhouses, saltwater greenhouses, hydroponics, vertical farming, cloud seeding. I want to help end world thirst. I'm spot cryptocurrency that's worth about $100. And one of the things that we do is we build wells and water towers in developing nations for the benefit of the less fortunate. Additional advocate for the Lifestraw program, and most importantly, desalination technology, where we pump earth seawater onto land drinkable. If you are a reply guy, Web3 marketer, if you are a reader or a shiller, and you want a free mentor, coach, and friend, send me a follow. I will follow you back. Send me a DM. I will respond. I know that I'm here to support you both personally and professionally. I'm here to be a positive person in your life. I'm here to have an optimistic future. And most importantly, I want to give hope. And with that, I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to share. Bingo.
Rabbi Rothschild, the house, always keeping it tight with the shell. The shillinator, bro. Give my guy a follow. I just had myself some water. I don't have any chicken. I'm going to lock in. You're going to cross this space. I'm super excited.
I'm responsible for the month of Stephen and replacing her of your parents, his love days in junior grade and we wrote by the member of the Stanley Wilson Flag on the Rabbi. World Commission of the Yard Site of Dr. Wolf's father, cited with fellow then the person on the Rabbi, Newton and that after memory of Ben Adler. However, bottle of Mordecai is Ben Moreno sponsors for today. Carrie Applebaum, member of the law. Carlos allowed to be so successful. That is satisfactory. Really doesn't go back. Today we are picking up from on the days 63B, and we are picking up 2, 4, 6, 7 large hops from the bottom. This is a not to love that. So again, we have not Ula, our parties, just as we have an Amida. And here by the sitting with them in mercy, using our survival. Yes, the following question. This is the fascinating discussion. So this for the Yainesa what is the halacha? If I use a Jew to smash barrels of Yainesa, right? So if your Yainesa Akum comes over to the event, I'm going to pay you $50 an hour. Do me a favor, smash these barrels of Yainesa. Mahu, what is the halacha? Is the Jew allowed to receive and to accept the wages from the slave? In yesterday's class, we were doing the concept of funds or income that is generated from what may or may not be permitted activity or dealing with items that they sell to the Asr. So here, the Akum is asking me to do something with Nessa, but he's asking me he's going to take me for it. I am allowed to keep those proceeds. So Gemara says, no. What's that about me? I'm going to keep the rest of the Kuma also. So this is very interesting. On one hand, I want the existence of the Yainesa. Now, why do I want the existence of the Yainesa? The barrels are great on their own. The opportunity to break when I lose the higher. So one interesting job. I want the existence of Yainesa. So because I want it, therefore, maybe that makes sense. We should actually me and Mina Bug, 3 lines after the bottom of Rashi. The Israel notes the Jew actually wants the existing barrels. So when we start with Akshamay land, I don't know, Ruben doesn't want them on their own. Actually, start remove the Tosmaster. So do we say that since the Jew actually wants, and this is interesting to think about, he actually wants the Yainesa to remain in existence. I don't want it to break down. So therefore, maybe that's considered to be proceeds from sex, and therefore, again, it's awesome. Oh, Jim, I'll give you just one shot at them. What are you talking about? The destruction of the INS, destruction of all the job. This is a good thing. This is in existence, but again, ultimately, to describe all the Zara is a good thing, and therefore, the proceeds, ultimately, again, should be committed. Fascinating trend. Oh, no. The Nachman says, Yishvar the Torah of Yochai. The Nachman says, no, take the job, take the job, you to go to root out people, root out a good thing, take the money. Let's say, again, an apple cleanses the line, right? The line is forbidden mixture. So, wheat, we had said, wheat, and let's say, for example, wheat and grapevines. That's the carbohydrate, forbidden mixture. So if an organ planting Chilean, I Jew can't go ahead and assist in the planting. Overly like home, you know, removing weeds, seed covering with dirt. Do not of son of Galid, 64 about open emotive. What can I do? I can uproot, right? I can uproot kill. I am allowed to do. Look at Rashi about Ogrin. Let's say Akum hires me and he says, Wilbur, do me a favor, I planted Kilayim. Now, again, the Akum is the planted Kilayim around. So I say again, he asks me to uproot it. I am allowed to do that even though I'm going to get paid for working with Kilayim, right? And I want the existence of the Kilayim. Because if the Kilayim is not uproot own, I lose out on my parnasa. So the Gemara says, here from here, this is to support with Nachman. Nachman says you are allowed to go ahead and benefit financially from a forbidden when that benefit results in the destruction item, even though you by definition want the continued existence of the prohibited item, because you want to be the one who destroys it, so you get paid for it, it's supposed to be destroyed on its own. So my son in count 64a. So Rula Haman. Here's the thing. So yes, you do. So you keep the Amar and the county of this line work. It's very interesting. You keep a whole for us. In general. Not only not only is there prohibition to go and see growth, but you can't even do anything at the same time. For example, actually points out that we hear that let's say someone is trying to be alive. Right, after the line, and the Ak asks you to put up a fence on the line. And the Akiva says, also, why? Because we acted putting up a fence by definition is part of the system we make. Putting up the fence has nothing to actually itself. Nevertheless, it is going to really good. I'm not facing the meaning. The fact is covering the seeds with the dirt. So I'm not facing the fact that the line will get more right? Again, that's going to come up because there you're directly participating in the flag. The Akiva says, touch the shiny. And the Akiva says,
yo, welcome. What up, wisdom?
For example, put up the lion, that's really big as well.
Wisdom.
Do not plant Kilayim in the field.
Yo, big dog. How you, big man?
How do I know that I'm not even allowed to do something?
Wisdom, what's up?
The actual stuff, like even like putting up the fence. Lomar, low Kilayim. I suppose
Wisdom.
Here, the Gemara is making
I see you.
Play on word. I love a play on word. And the Gemara is actually kind of slicing the parts like low Kilayim.
Wisdom. Can you hear me, big man?
Again, enables the existence of Kilayim, even if it's not directly involved with the actual plant itself.
Excellent.
That sustains it.
All right, you wanted to chat. What's up?
Gemara says, ultimately, interestingly enough, even according to Rabbi, the same that sustains the Kilayim. What about if somebody's going to uproot the Kilayim? So the Pashto says like that is going to be totally interesting. Gemara says necessarily no. Doesn't be that being a rather Haman is this Rabbanon. Be Rabbanon might be the open of human non-shot. Rabbanon, this is Rabbanon. Rabbanon only to put a Rabbanon only can be a Shiva. Rabbanon you can with plans is a plan or actively using it facilitates the growth of itself. Some type of like putting a fence is working. So if you have a fence is motor, you get paid for that, then certainly you're you get paid for uprooting yourself. So that's not going to be implemented. Which the Gemara says, Hachamas, you know, where ultimately, again, I am uprooting the Kilayim for free. Yaakov asked me to do it, and I'm doing it. So what's the problem? Watch this. Amar, meeting Lahem not necessary. Ultimately, that is the opinion. And halacha life, you are not allowed to make like the actual hadith in the beginning of the whole
What up, big dog?
Buddha says, don't you understand? You can't work for free.
Please?
You can't just leave for alcohol for free. Even if the free favors the destruction of the whole. So which the Gemara says, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Akiva, la. Now, the fact that you're saying this stuff on Yehuda, something to Rabbi Akiva. Does not be permitted. Rabbi Yehuda also meeting on a Nasim. Tifla shocking. Gemara says, no, according to Yehuda, Rabbi Yehuda says it's true. You can't do a favor, so to give us free gift. You can't do a favor for another. But to do something to Abu Dhabi, that's absolutely permitted. That's a good thing. I have numerous Rabbi Akiva now. I thought that's Rabbi Akiva. I'm not going to look at. Let me say Tifla Shaka. Even going to Rabbi Akiva,
what up, wisdom?
You know, approach the prohibition of Kilayim. They're not only can't plant it. Not only can't actual planting itself, but you can put up a fence to sting it. Even Rabbi Akiva would agree.
Hello. How can I help you? Yes, sir. What did you want to do?
You know, you know,
Oh, certainly. Just for a moment. I'll send it to you in a message.
He wants to hire me and Jordan breaks the game, paying me $50. Great. So I might have to do it or not. So remember, on one hand, you could say no, because therefore they want to continue the existence of the Yahweh from the Holy Zara. On the other hand, and go. But nothing said, do it and cover Allah. Cause the destruction of the Zara, for that matter, is prohibited. I don't. So yes, I do want to continue the existence of the INS. I want to break it. I want to break it. I don't want to put it on the phone. I want to uproot it. But nevertheless, I am committed to go ahead and do these activities to get food for them and keep the proceeds because the destruction of people, destruction of Zara, prohibition ultimately is a good thing. Nothing says you get paid. Incredible. I must say there is such an interesting idea because it's kind of like part of Western society. Our mindset is live and let live, and that is as members of society, just the general to live in a greater society. We should both take in account. Yes, you know, it's not Rabbi reason to convince the world that we're losing Rabbi. Nor is it a place to stand in judgment of everyone else's lifestyle choices or everything else. Live and let live. That, to a certain degree, that has to be our approach to society. On the other hand, it's also teaching us this idea that evil shouldn't be allowed to take root within our world. And when there's something that is evil, when there's evil, it has to be broken. When there's something that is evil, it has to be measured. It has to be destroyed. Because if you let evil take root, then it spreads, and unfortunately becomes the norm. And sometimes then evil ultimately again becomes incredibly good. And that's why I have to use this discussion of yes, destroy the INS and trouble Allah bring the world is a rough. That is a rough. It's not easy. It's not easy. And it's fraught with incredible challenges. We see this for think about it's such an incredible thing. If you think about what the nation of Israel is doing out people. And somehow you would think that like the world is lined up false, because we're doing the world's dirty.
Every meal's a feast. Thank you so much for the opportunity. First and foremost, I've got to follow as many people in this space as possible. I'd appreciate it if you could follow me back. I follow everyone back, so if you shoot me a follow, I will ensure to return the favor. I'm Rabbi Rothschild. If you don't know who I am, you will. I stream my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for world peace. I've been doing so for more than 4 years. My streams go back to the pandemic. We've seen the death of a queen, the birth of AI, the coronation of a king, and a real-life Truman Show, a real-life Big Brother. This is a timeline and a capsule of human achievement. In the 90s, Bill Gates coined the phrase, content is king, and I'm making it true today. I'm king of the internet. This is the biggest event in global history, and here's why. In 2018, the Economist magazine stated that data had overtaken petroleum as Earth's #1 resource. And I have more data archived on the internet than any person ever, which is making me very influential. I'm going viral. And when I do, I want to make you, your friends, your family, all financially independent if you're not already. I want to ensure that you have generational wealth. If you don't, you to be able to start charities and philanthropic organizations of your own. I'm unlike any influencer you're ever going to meet. I'm not live on one YouTube stream nor two YouTube streams. I'm on 20 simultaneous YouTube streams 24 hours a day. You can view my life in 360 degrees. I even have a camera. If you want to view these YouTube streams, they're available in the link in bio. Additionally, you'll find the link in my pinned post. You'll also find in my pinned post a link to my link tree. I look at my link tree. Nobody dares you to look at their link tree, but I do because I have social media than any person ever. I have more content than any person ever. You'll also find a link to my Discord, discord.me/Rabbi. We have over 2,700 people in the community and continue to grow each day. In addition, good Shabbos. In addition to Shabbat Shalom. In addition to live streaming my life and wanting to make you all extremely wealthy, I want you to know that I want to help end world hunger through the use of agricultural drones, floating greenhouses, saltwater greenhouses, hydroponics, vertical farming, cloud seeding. I want to help world thirst. I'm sponsoring cryptocurrency that's worth about $100 million. And one of the things that we do is we build wells and wires in developing nations for the benefit of the less fortunate. Additionally, I'm an advocate for the Lifestyle program and most importantly, nation technology, where we pump Earth seawater on to land and make it drinkable. If you are a reply, if you're a Web3 marketer, if you're a Raider or a Schiller, and you want a free mentor, coach, and friend, send me a follow. I'll ensure to follow you back. Send me them. I will respond. I want you all to know that I'm here to support you both personally and professionally. Positive person in your lives. I'm here to have an optimistic view on the future, and most importantly, I want to give people hope. And with that, I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to share.
Thank you, Rabbi. Sir, nice to have you. I was Rabbi Rothschild in the building speaking. Guys,
I don't need the help. Where it says the sunshine not sure what we go from. I lent $1,000. So what happened? So went and sold his item. Brought me the proceeds from the sale. Or Yainess facilities. I went ahead and I rented $1,000. He sold his Yain. But he brought me the proceeds of the sale. What's that? Motor. Ultimately, I managed motor. The Gemara says, however, watch this. I watch the proceeds. I'm going to some Yainess and be back to the proceeds. In that case, it's awesome. Interesting. Case number one, I lent $1,000. Case number one, he goes off, sells his Yainess, and I have no idea what he's doing.
Oh, absolutely. YouTube streams. I'm live on multiple Rumbles. I'm live on multiple Twitch. I'm live on an X Space myself. And believe it or not, I have been live streaming an X Space 24/7. Every 24 hours, I have to end and restart it since last February. So I am closing in on 1 year of not just X Spaces, but video X Spaces using an device. Additionally, I'm live on Pump Fun, and I'm live in about 15 side Discord. That's off the top of my head, but there are other platforms on which I am. I have 33 independent devices. No, if I devices, Android devices, basically, I use PC. I certainly use Windows computers. I use Apple computers. If it is available, certainly Chromebooks and Linux. So I have a little bit of everything, depending on what the platforms require.
I want to continue existence of the INS because
what was the question? What was my internet?
Why should it be awesome? But now, you have two brothers. Converted, and what if there are working brothers? One converted and one converted. So brother Ger, brother Archer. So what happened? Their father died. Their father died. Their father died. They inherit their father. So they want to split the estate.
Actually, smoking is quite within some Jewish communities, and certainly drinking, but I mean that we have our share of smokers as well.
So brother Ger, you take all the idolatry stuff. You take all the money and potatoes. If you do that, then you should not. That's music. However, in the Shabbat, it's just like obviously, once that happens, there's no more recourse. Right? But the love once
yeah, most certainly. So you can actually live streaming right now. You can see me speaking live. There is an insert embedded video. So if you actually want to watch me visually do this, you can. And really, it's just about having the different devices I don't have one supercomputer that runs all of my cameras. I have devices, so um, I have like 6 different PCs, and I have another half dozen or so Chromebooks, and then I have quite a few different Amazon Fires that allow me to be in different Discords, and then I have another dozen Android devices that allow me to be live streaming, and then I have iOS devices that I use certainly for being live on X Spaces, also and some other Discords, and then that's what I'm currently using. So basically, the individualization of each platform on my devices certainly be in a lot of places. But another key point is multi-streaming. I'm the king of multi-streaming. So what do I mean by multi-streaming? I use one device to be able to multi-stream or stream simultaneously on different platforms. So there are a few different services, and I do all of this for free. I don't pay any premium because it would just be extremely expensive to do this on 33 different devices. So what I do, I use Rumble. If you know what Rumble is, they have a really great part of their platform known as Rumble Studio that allows you to take your RTMP key. This is techno babble for your time messaging protocol key, basically the thing that allows you to stream on different platforms and to be able to plug that in. And also they have native functionality, YouTube, X, Twitch, and quite a couple other of the services. So I'm able each of my to be able to multi-stream on anywhere up to a dozen different platforms. In addition to some that you may have never heard of, like Africa TV, which sounds like it'd be really big in Africa, but it's not. It's really big in South Korea, and like Nemo TV and things like not just You, but You Now, which is another one. Some of these smaller platforms allows you to multi-shows, and I also use another service that I use StreamYard. If some of you are familiar with that, which allows for some free multi-streaming. So I basically maximize the amount of platforms on which you can be streaming by using a strategy known as multi-streaming. So for some devices, especially if it's like an older Android device, it's not going to be able to support all of the opportunities that may come with multi-streaming just due to RAM usage and such. However, if it's a computer or a Chromebook or something like that, usually it does, and that allows me to be in so many places at once. People say that I'm and I really do my best to be.
It's difficult for people to engage in self-sacrifice. Money is necessary.
To be here, I needed that question.
As long as you have your health, and you can pay your bills. I mean, and people should not stand up to religious challenges. The choice between religion and afraid that yes,
Every single day, fall off my back like water off a duck, and don't let it get to me. I do my best to kill them with kindness, so to speak. That's the best remedy that I have for any kind of hatred or threats that I get online. But 99 of all people who I encounter online are very positive towards what I do, and I recognize that you can't win anybody, and that's okay. I do my best to not give them any ammunition against me, and to ensure things we have the understanding that maybe we don't align either religiously or perhaps philosophically or whatever whatever it is, that if anything, they're living on the same planet that I am, and hopefully we can do our best to treat each other with mutual respect and everybody that way.
Sitting together. Another question. Can a get go ahead and let's say before we go on. He said, "Get the Chazal will make look like it." Do you understand the tremendous mistakes? How local is structured is about the very you about the stuff who's very interesting inside. So you can levy some punishment or anything. That's a good information. The devotional wants our success and you want our success. Chazal want our success more than we want our success. And all of us, a little bit. To put us on a path to success, not to slap us down when we go and we make a mistake. But again, understood what we need in order to be successful. Not understood what we need in order to be successful. And when relax the standards to be successful, they do it. You got it. They do it. When success is accomplished through relaxing of standards, no greater advocate than that's in this world than the next world. In this world, constantly aiming for success. Okay, no question. How do you guys talk about it? Get Masha. What's the very Can a Ger Tosha? Can a Ger Tosha go ahead and abolish or negate idolatry? Remember again, an akil has the ability to negate his idolatry, thereby decommissioning it as a theological significance. Rashi points out here at the top of the graph, Ger Tosha, Eino Ovid, ultimately again, he worship idolatry. But again, he's like him in everything else, except he doesn't worship idolatry. And that's it. That's a pretty big thing, right? He believes in Hakadosh Baruch Hu. He believes in God. He doesn't worship idolatry, but in every other respect, he's a non-Jew. So he has the ability to commission idolatry, to make idolatry. Gemara says, on one hand, the Palach Mevad, we say only one who worships idolatry can decommission idolatry. Or maybe not. Or we say like this: anyone who's bar mineh, if you're in the parsha of an apple, you can go ahead and decommission avodah zarah. And this guy is in the parsha. He's not Jewish. He's not Jewish. So because he's not Jewish, he's in the parsha of an apple. So because of that, even though Baruch Hashem, he himself doesn't worship idolatry, he has the koach to go ahead and negate it. You must. I'm going to rule up now. And so I'm going to also not this Stavra, the Palach Battle Glow Palach. Nachman says, well, only someone who worships it can negate it. But someone who doesn't worship idolatry cannot negate it. Therefore, doesn't have the ability to negate idolatry. So must this was so Israel went ahead and found idolatry in the marketplace. Found idolatry in the marketplace. What's that level? Actual boss of the owner. So let's say, I remember again. So let's say, listen to this case. I'm walking in the sugar marketplace. I see a gold item sitting there on the ground. If I lift it up, that's pronounced, right? Because then I've acquired it. And by a Jew, essentially, you can't be commissioned. So what do I do? So before I pick it up, I can call over an apple. Remember, you also have cables. Call over an apple and see if the apple need you to negate this idolatry, decommission. right? Theological decommission. Go ahead and engage in theological decommissioning of this world. And then it becomes permitted. However, again, in Shabbat Saliyago, but again, if I take it out, right, if I take possession of it, I think it's
I know, baby. You know we can. He hasn't stopped in probably 7 days.
What does it mean? What does it mean that Akum can decommit Zara, whether he worships it or doesn't worship it? If you want to both it, then we already said that. We just said before that an Akum has the ability to theologically decommission his Avodah Zarah and the Avodah Zarah of his friend. And a lot of the Ovid Kohanim, a lot of the Ovid Kohanim, right? Ultimately, again, of the means an actual Akum. My shit, what does it mean? A non-worshipper? Ger Toshav. Oh. So who is able to go ahead and decommission both an actual Akum and a Ger Toshav? Shmano, Ger Toshav Nanubaka. What do you see from here? That a Ger Toshav has the ability to be Mabako, theologically decommission Avodah Zarah. Which Gemara says, no. The oath not true. Rather, it could very well say you could decommission an actual idol worshiper itself. An apple. I knew Shalom B'Shachad. We already said that. Then the price is redundant because you already said Akum could go ahead and decommission his Avodah Zarah and his friend. The Gemara says, Reisha, listen to this. Two different cases. Reisha, Reisha is teaching me like this. We have two Akums. Both worship my idol and his friend's idol. An Akum too can negate his idol, and an Akum can negate his own idolatry. Good. Number two, an Akum can negate his. So the Gemara says,
isn't she wonderful? Isn't it fun? True love could be lovely. Isn't she worthy? Join the angels sing. Oh, I'm so happy. We have been having what God has done back to all of the
Some say, any Gentile. What is the definition of